So, Jason, I think recently we saw some guidance from CISA about post-quantum cryptography, right?
We certainly did. They said a few things. There's a lot in their posting. Mm-hmm. I'm going to think we're going to narrow it down to what I think are some of the most important points. Right. Number one, I like the first major point they made.
Okay.
There is an expiration date on modern encryption.
Hell yeah.
Now, that's not surprising to you or I.
Yeah.
But I think that we've seen that NIST line in the sand, 2030 for ECCR and RSA, moved people more than any other words on the topic of PQC.
Absolutely.
And now that CISA is saying it, they're repeating the most important words.
Right.
There is an expiration date on modern encryption, and we all have to face it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's number one. And like I say, it might sound obvious, but I think that now if you're a CEO, a CIO, a CISO in any company that has electricity, your ability to ignore that message is gone.
Yeah.
Number two, they're acknowledging something that is, maybe it was too scary for people to say, but let's say it. There is a systemic threat to critical infrastructure.
Yeah, specifically because of PQC.
So here's what was said. A joint assessment by CISA and RAND Corporation. They analyzed 55 national critical functions. You can guess what those things are.
Yeah.
These are vital operations of government, private sector. All 55 carried quantum risk.
Yeah.
Not a surprise to you and I.
Not at all surprising, right?
And so what they flat out said was the encryption securing these communications will be compromised and the integrity of our critical infrastructure falls with it. They said the words.
Okay,
that's interesting. So
that's very interesting.
It's just people are being like unambiguous, Tim. That's what I like about this.
And we just recently talked about the idea of ratcheting up the amount of attention that's being given to this. Even though we feel like there's been a lot of attention, a lot of press, we're very inside on this. And so I think there almost can't be too much of this kind of stuff. Even if someone's saying something that you and I feel we already know, and the listeners to this podcast feel like you already know because we've been talking at you for 6 years. Nonetheless, we need everyone to know.
Absolutely. Right. And so they didn't just leave it there. They actually said there will be 4 pillars of cascading vulnerability.
Oh, this is interesting.
In these 55 critical infrastructure categories.
Okay.
How fundamental are these 4 pillars? That's why they're called pillars. Listen to this, Tim.
Okay.
Providing internet-based content, information, and communication services will fall.
Okay. That's pretty big.
Providing identity management and associated trust support services.
Okay. What do we need that for? What do we need identity and trust
What do we
for?
need identity
what could
for?
we possibly need it for? Okay.
Providing information technology products and services. Period.
Yeah. Okay.
And protecting sensitive information.
Yeah. Okay. That's that's every digital operation in the country. That's everything.
Literally not being able to work. There your word, fall.
Yeah, that's everything. That's literally every digital operation in the country.
Tim, I'm going to skip the fact that they then tooted their horn saying, we're going to have a PQC initiative. A lot of people have PQC initiatives. Good on you, CISA.
Sure, do it.
Well, maybe that's another podcast, but we'll leave that. They have a blueprint for immediate action, and there are 4 points, Tim.
Oh, good. What are they?
You'll be shocked by number 1, deep discovery and inventory.
Discovery, inventory, C-bomb. Yep. No, but they're right? Like, sorry to say something we say like every week on this show, but if you don't know what it is, you cannot deal with it. You can't upgrade it. You can't lock it down. You can't make sure it's current and correct. If you don't know what it is, You're not going to act on it. You're going to miss on it, and it's going to be a vulnerability.
Number 2,
Okay.
controlled evaluation. What breaks?
Excellent.
So
Absolutely right.
we're telling you to go PQC. What's going to break?
Yep.
And do it in a controlled manner.
Yep.
Number 3, essentially, I think it's the same as number 2, interdependence analysis.
So in other words, when one tent pole falls, how does the whole tent go down?
And
Right, because they used the word cascading earlier, right?
Correct.
And this is a big thing you and I again have talked about a lot. This is one of the ways that PQC is different from Y2K, right? Back in the Y2K days, there were isolated systems, and you're like, oh, this is going to be bad. If we don't fix this, then this operation will go offline until it gets fixed. But now, none of these operations exist in a vacuum. They all have things that depend on them. And when something goes down, then it pulls down its neighbors, and they pull their neighbors down. And there's this expanding downstream outage that eventually encompasses everything, and you just have blackness.
And number 4,
Okay.
which is really just looking to the third parties, supply chain accountability.
Yeah, okay.
Isn't it amazing, Tim?
That's a theme, isn't it?
You know, a little earlier today, we did record another podcast that you guys might have all seen already that was published. And that's the mapping of CLM to Nora, DORA, and NIS2.
And if not, go give it a watch after you're done with this one. Go on.
Please go watch that. And my goodness, it's echoing that
Yeah.
in terms of like cascading,
Yeah.
supply chain.
Yeah.
Every guidance now is talking through, wow, not only are individual enterprises not going to work, but entire cascading problem sets. I'm really that's why I want to talk about the CISA paper with you today, Tim, because I think they're capturing the full extent, and they're using extremely unambiguous language.
Yeah, and I agree, right? And that's the other thing here. That's what I was going to say. The other thing we're seeing that's a new kind of a more recent trend, and we saw this with Dora too, is being very pointed in identifying what the trouble is and what needs to be done. We saw earlier guidance, and this isn't me throwing shade, but we saw earlier guidance about PQC and other things in the last year or two that was a little less direct. A lot of it was focused on outcomes, not how to get there. And we're seeing this new guidance that's extremely direct and extremely prescriptive in a much more detailed way than we're used to. And I think this is good.
It is.
Right?
You want to notice? I've noticed something that they've left out.
What's that?
They're completely even leaving out harvest and decrypt, which is like, guys, the actual complete failure of everything is more important.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting because harvest and decrypt is a very real vulnerability.
Sure it is.
And harvest and decrypt, I think, puts things on a faster clock.
Yep.
But I agree. Like back to the Stone Age is worse. Right?
Absolutely. So, Tim, here's how I'd like to end it. I'm going to make a statement because there's going to be another podcast recorded very soon, published and coming your way. Why Johnny can't encrypt and authenticate strongly in OT systems.
It just rolls off the tongue. Why Johnny can't encrypt and authenticate strongly in OT systems. Excellent.
Coming soon.
All right, coming soon. All right, thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Tim.